What's good, y'all? It's Gas from J2B Productions, and today we got our first tutorial, man. Coming at you with a plug beat tutorial. But that's enough talking, man. Let's just get right into this tutorial. So first thing that I'ma do is I'ma just go into my plugins and I'ma open up Purity. Purity is like the main plug preset, VST, whatever you want to call it. But if you don't have Purity, like if you don't have the money for it, whatever the case may be, there's plenty of plugins that you could use. Look, this is a stock plugin. You could just go to instruments, keyboard, and then there's a Rhodes plugin right there, because I'm gonna be using a Rhodes sound for the first sound. But there's so many stock plugins you could use to substitute for this. So just in case y'all don't have Purity, y'all don't want to spend the money, whatever the case may be, there are plenty of stock plugins y'all can use. But since I do have Purity, I'm gonna be using it. And the first sound I'm gonna be using is Pretty Suitcase. If y'all have seen any plug tutorial ever, this is just how it goes. Like, Pretty Suitcase is the sound to use. So I'm gonna start in maybe, I think I'm gonna make like a E major 7th chord. And how to make major chords, so I just put the note down in E. This is gonna be our bass note. So all you gotta do from here for a major chord is you're just gonna go up 1, 2, 3, just like that. And then after that you're gonna go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the next note. And then with this E, you're gonna go up an octave, and then you're gonna move it down like that. And then this is our chord, just like that. And then for this, I think I want it to go down. No, I'll make it go up to an E for the top note, and then we'll go down to a C, down to an A, down to an F, and then maybe down to a C for the top note here. And I know nothing about music theory. Y'all could just mess around, see what sounds good. There we go. I like that. From here, duplicate that over. And I think I want to bring this up to a G. Yeah. So let's see how this sounds. Cool. Alright. So I think I'm going to use these as the bass notes. I think I'm going to use these as the chords. Although I might chop it up just to give it a little more bounce. So let me get to that real quick. So now I split the chords up a little. I got some breaks in there. So let's just see how this sounds now. And now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna place some filler notes in between these gaps. Oh, here. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll do another C over here, and then we'll move it up to, yeah, let's see how this sounds. I think that's a little extra. I'm just gonna keep it at the 1E, but I think we're done with the chords now. And what I like to do for the second step, I'm gonna open up another instance of Purity and another super popular, super common plug sound, bell and perk, bell with harmonics. If you have ever heard any plug music, any like D Savage song or anything like that, then you have definitely heard this song. But really all I like to do with this is it's like the easiest thing ever, and it adds such a beautiful sound. I just layer it with the top note, just like this, and just like this. You see what I mean? That just adds so much to the beat, and well, to the melody, I guess. And it took me 15 seconds. So that's the really cool thing about that. And if you don't have Purity, like I said, I'm sure you could find some sort of arpeggiator or some sort of cool little thing that'll do essentially the same thing. And for the next sound, I'm going back into the bell and perk section, and I'm picking out the vibra handbell, another super popular plug sound. And y'all don't have to be copying me directly. You can put in some different bells, some different whatever. Y'all can add some variation to this. I just want to make that very clear. I'm just doing this so it's like a basic Plugg tutorial, because these are like the most popular, most common Plugg sounds, just things like that. So what I like to do with this, it's pretty much the same thing as the Bell with Harmonics little arpeggiator that we just brought in. I just like to put it at the top. I feel like it gives it like a nice little bounce. It's a nice little added complexity to the melody. Maybe I delay it a little. Maybe I'll have it hit here. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Back to purity. Now, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick out a string. The legato strings never do me wrong. So I'll go with these. And the strings are another really simple part to Plugg beats. Some people, some producers, they'll just have like one note repeat throughout the whole thing. Me, I like to switch it up a little bit, but like I said, this is like the simplest part of the beat. See how this sounds? I like that. See, and that's another really simple thing that just makes the melody like 10 times better. And now I'm gonna go into fast synth and take out this harmonic lead. Another super popular Plugg sound. I know, right? And now this is a rare point where you gotta kinda get creative with the beat, because now you can make your own custom pattern and just do whatever sounds good. So y'all don't have to copy me. Y'all don't have to do anything related to what I do. Y'all could just come up with your own custom pattern here. See how it sounds. So now we got this. So I just threw the strings up an octave just to kind of space out the melody a little bit, because I feel like there was way too many like sort of middle frequencies, and that was kind of making everything like sort of collide. So now there should be a little more space in the beat, and you should be able to hear everything a little more separated. And I'm obviously gonna mix these, like this is not the final melody, but for now, I think I'm gonna move on to the drums. As far as the drum kits that I normally use for Plugg beats, I use this Young Rob 500 sub special pack, and this is honestly one of the best kits that I've ever seen. Shout out Young Rob. I'll leave the link to this kit and the other kit that I'm about to show y'all in a second in the description. Both are free. So y'all go get those if you want to make these Plugg beats. But it even has this, which I think is really cool. It has the major scales, so you can just, like, let's say you open up a sampler track, you could just drag that in. Let's say I want to do an E major. It shows me every single note in the E major scale, and then I could just go to my Rhodes and then layer whatever the hell over it in with notes in the scale. So I think that's really cool. But it also has some really nice sounds. So I'm gonna be starting with the claps. Hold on, let me delete that sampler. That shit looks ugly. For the hi-hats, I'm gonna go into this other drum kit. Shout out Young Kane. It's his Plugg V2 drum kit. I use this a ton, and I really like the hi-hats in here. So I'm just pull out the first one. And with Plugg hi-hats, it's normally just gonna be like essentially a two-step pattern, just with a few notes cut out here and there, something like this. And moving on to the snares, I really like this snare. So let's just make a pattern for that. And this is just gonna be a 4-bar. I like this little snare pattern where I just go here, here, and then I might throw one in here. I think this sounds good. Yeah, I like that. And moving on to the 808s, I think I'm gonna use the Zay 808, even though it hits super hard. and that's not exactly what we're looking for in a Plugg beat. We're just looking for a cool little vibe. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go into the bells and sort of copy these over, since they're just the top notes, and then I always turn on cut itself, because for some reason FL Studio didn't give me the envelope tag, so I'm stuck doing cut itself for now. And I think I might start it off with like a back-to-back like this. Yeah, I like that. I kind of like what we got going here. Let's play it out real quick. That's a cool little pattern. I like that. And from here, something about Plugg beats is, one, there's always a crash, so let's get a crash in there. But two, there's always a bunch of perks, so we are not done with the drums. And normally the crash will hit every 8 bars, so let me just get a nice little crash in here, just like that. And we're done with the crash, just like that, baby. And now for these perks, this kid has a lot of good perks. I like using this stick perk. What else is there? I like the shaker. I like this little pew. I like using the tom too, just at the end. So let's add a little perk channel. No 30.
Only a spoonful.
That was corny. Oh my fuck. Yeah, I like that. And now I'm just gonna EQ everything except for the Rhodes, because those are supposed to be sort of holding like a lot of space in the track. Like that's kind of what holds it all together. But I'm gonna be EQing everything else, just taking out the lows. And I have the 808 on mixer track 13, so I'm gonna just throw a soft clipper on there. And other than that, I think everything should be decently mixed now. And as for arranging Plugg beats is also super simple. Something that pretty much every Plugg producer will do, unless they have a big build-up, is they'll just have everything here except for the 808 to begin with. They'll cut that out for the first 2 bars, and then they'll have it drop after the 2 bars. So there will be a nice little 2-bar delay that'll sound like this. I like that. And you could either have this play out for 8 bars or 16 bars. I'm gonna have it 16 bars. And then after that, I'm gonna just have it go to just the chords after. I'm gonna keep all the drums, but I'm gonna take out everything but the chords. For this, I like to do 24 bar verses, especially with Plugg. So now that we have our little 24, I'll probably add something in at the end like this. That's cool. And then something I learned from Chambers, shout out Chambers, is that at the end of the verse, something cool you can do, especially with Plugg beats, is you can cut out the first 2 bars and the last 2 bars of a little 8-bar, just like this. And then I'll copy this over for the chorus. Cool. And then I don't want this section to be super bland, so I think right here I'm gonna just add a little delayed drop. Yeah, that's cool. And then I'm just gonna duplicate the verse over and do that. Control B, by the way, is how you do that. Alright, I think this sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. And then I think instead of just having this repeat, I'm gonna put in another sound, so maybe the bells or maybe the strings actually, or maybe even the lead. Let me see how the lead sounds. That's pretty sick. And then something else, I'm just gonna add a bunch of like effects and stuff, because with Plugg beats, effects and all that jazz are all over the place, so I'm gonna just throw some stuff in. I think this is cool. I just added that in the beginning, then I got a little lion roar sound effect. Shout out Pierre Bourne. Then I got the money counter. That's really it for sound effects. And I forgot to mention, if y'all want to do like some Hdami shit and get that like little effect at the end, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Just go to the Fruity Love filter, simple triangle low pass LFO, and then here, just mess with this a little bit. Go to add automation for last tweak parameter, and then here I'll just have it hit right here. And then, oh, did not mean to do that. And then I'll bring this down, make it to a 0 for the entire rest of the song. So now and that's a cool little outro. And something you can mess around with just to see if it sounds cooler is just mess around with this little master pitch knob. It could result in some really cool sounding shit, just like this. You see how it has a whole different sound now? So just messing around with that can really give your beat like a lot of uniqueness. So I like playing around with this once I'm done my beat, just see if I can find anything that sounds like really nice. But that is the finished beat, ladies and gentlemen. If this helped you, or if you enjoyed the tutorial, whatever, just make sure you give that video a like. It helps a lot. And also hit that sub button. We just hit 100. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate that. Big things are coming. And let me know if y'all want more tutorials, and if you do, then what tutorials y'all want, because I'm down for literally anything, and I mean anything. So just leave suggestions in the comments. For now, I'm out of here. I'll play the final beat for y'all in a second. But hey, peace and love. I'll catch y'all.